Welcome back to No Way, That's Illegal, the channel where we dig up the wildest, weirdest, and most mind-blowing laws from around the world and throughout history. Today we're going way back. Forget the Middle Ages, forget the Romans, and yes, even forget the Bible. We're counting down to the 10 oldest laws in human history, and none of them are from the Bible. Some of these rules were so ancient they make the 10 Commandments look like a recent tweet. Trust me, some of these ancient laws are gonna surprise you with how advanced or downright strange they were. Before we dive in, smash that like button and hit that subscribe so you never miss another episode of legal history's greatest hits and misses. Now let's travel back in time. Why do ancient laws matter? Well, long before the Bible was written, civilizations were already figuring out how to keep the peace, protect the weak, and let's be honest, keep their rulers in power. From the river valleys of Mesopotamia to the green hills of ancient Ireland, people realized early on that if you want society to work, you need rules. But these weren't just about don't steal or don't kill. Some of these laws are surprisingly progressive, and others are, well, a little terrifying. Ready to see where it all began? Our first stop is the city-state of 𝐬𝐮 in what is now southern Iraq. Around 2380 BCE, King Urukagina issued what historians believe is the earliest known legal code. Sadly, most of the text is lost, but what remains tells us a lot. Urukagina's code was all about protecting the poor from the rich and powerful. It banned the wealthy from seizing the property of the poor, protected widows and orphans, and even limited the power of priests and officials. Imagine over 4,000 years ago, a king was already writing laws to fight corruption and protect the vulnerable. Social justice, ancient style. Jump ahead nearly 300 years to the city of Ur, and you'll find the oldest surviving law code, the Code of Urukagina, written in Sumerian around 2100 BCE. This code is a game changer. Unlike later, harsher codes, Urukagina's laws relied mostly on fines and compensation, not brutal punishments. For example, if you knocked out someone's tooth, you paid a fine. If you murdered someone, though, that was a capital offense, death. But for most crimes, it was all about paying your debt to society, literally. It's amazing to think that over 4 millennia ago, people were already debating whether justice should be about punishment or making things right. Next, let's visit 𝐬𝐮𝐬, another Sumerian city-state. The laws of 𝐬𝐮𝐬, written around 1930 BCE, are fascinating because they show just how organized these societies were. These laws set fixed prices for goods and services, regulated wages, and even included rules about dangerous dogs. That's right, leash laws are nearly 4,000 years old. If your dog bit someone and you hadn't chained it up, you were responsible. Some things never change. Moving forward to about 1870 BCE, we meet King Lipa-Ishtar of 𝐼𝐻. His code covered everything from property rights and contracts to marriage, adoption, and even inheritance. It's clear that bureaucracy isn't just a modern headache. Ancient rulers were already obsessed with paperwork. Lipa-Ishtar's code is also notable for its focus on fairness, especially in family and business dealings. If you thought prenups were new, think again. Now, the superstar of ancient law, Hammurabi's code, written around 1750 BCE in Babylon, this code is legendary for its eye for an eye approach. But did you know it also protected consumers? If a builder constructed a house that collapsed and killed the owner, the builder could be put to death. If a doctor caused a patient's death, they could lose their hands. That is some serious accountability. Hammurabi's laws also regulated wages, trade, and even divorce. With 282 laws carved into a massive stone pillar, this was the world's first legal terms and conditions, and you couldn't just click I agree. Head northwest to ancient Anatolia and you'll find the Hittite laws, written between 1650 and 1500 BCE. These laws are surprisingly humane for the first time. For example, the Hittites banned the death penalty for theft, preferring fines or forced labor instead. They also had rules for animal welfare, including penalties for mistreating livestock. In some cases, the punishment for a crime depended on the social status of the victim and the perpetrator, showing a complex sense of justice. Ancient Turkey was ahead of its time in more ways than one. The Middle Assyrian laws, written between 1450 and 1250 BCE, are infamous for their severity, especially towards women. Punishments could be brutal, including mutilation and death. But these laws also regulated contracts, property, and family life, showing that ancient societies were complex and deeply concerned with order and hierarchy. Even in harsh times, there was a logic to the law, though we might not always agree with it today. Ever wondered where the word Draconian comes from? Meet Draco, an Athenian lawmaker from the 7th century BCE. Draco's laws were so harsh that even minor crimes could mean death. Stealing a cabbage? Death. Owing someone money? Death. The Athenians eventually replaced Draco's code, but his name lives on as a warning about going too far with punishments. Justice was intense, but at least everyone knew where they stood. Now let's head to Crete, where the 𝐼𝐻 code was literally carved into the city stone walls in the 5th century BCE. This code covered everything from divorce and property rights to adoption and inheritance. What's amazing is how much attention it gave to women's rights, especially in divorce and inheritance cases. Ancient feminism? Maybe not quite, but it was a step in the right direction. The 𝐼𝐻 code shows that even in the ancient world, people were thinking about fairness and equality. Our final stop is the misty hills of ancient Ireland, the Brehon Laws, some dating back over 4,000 years ago. These are among the oldest in Europe. These laws protected animals from abuse, set out rules for marriage and divorce, and even said that kings weren't above the law. If a king ruled unjustly, he could be overthrown. The Brehon Laws also had an early form of environmental protection. Damaging someone's trees or bees could land you in serious trouble. Oh yeah, these things were taken very seriously back then, and to think about all these laws, you have to wonder if these laws still existed the way they did back then, how different would the world be today? I mean, think about it. Animal rights and checks on power in the Bronze Age. That is some serious power, and that is nothing to joke about. If you're loving these ancient laws, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell because we've got even more wild legal history coming your way every week. So what did we learn today? Ancient people weren't just about wars and pyramids. They were obsessed with rules, fairness, and sometimes surprisingly modern ideas. From protecting animals to regulating wages to talking about fairness and actually implementing it, the roots of today's laws go way deeper than you might think. Some of these ancient laws were shockingly progressive, while others were brutally strict. Which law surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments below and share with us. Thank you so much for watching. No way, that's illegal. Until next time, stay curious and maybe don't break any 4,000-year-old laws. Take care.